The International Olympic Committee has reacted strongly to comments made by Ukrainian officials over plans to allow Russian sportspersons to compete at the Paris Olympics. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is pushing for a boycott of the Games next year, and that move is now gaining support in Europe. Zelensky's presidential advisor, Mikhailo Podolyak, said the IOC would be backing genocide if Russian athletes are allowed to compete, even as neutrals. This followed statements over the weekend that accused the Olympic body of promoting violence, mass murders and destruction. Russian forces invaded Ukraine in February last year. Following the conclusion of the Beijing Winter Olympics, and the IOC immediately suspended the Russian and Belarusian Olympic Committee for breaching the Olympic truce. Ukraine accuses Russia of war crimes, a claim denied by Russian forces.
The International Olympic Committee's attempts to get Russian athletes back to compete and participate in the Olympics is an attempt to tell the world that terror can be viewed as something acceptable, as if we could turn a blind eye to what Russia is doing with Kherson, Kharkiv, Bakhmut and Avdiivka.
The IOC responded angrily, calling the Ukrainian official statement defamatory, also emphasizing that there could be no constructive discussions till the rhetoric is toned down. The IOC is backing a proposal from the Olympic Council of Asia that will allow Russian athletes to compete at the Asian Games and also provide a pathway for Olympic qualification. It's a controversial move, and the National Olympic Committees of Poland and Great Britain are spearheading a move among European nations to boycott the Games if Russian athletes are allowed to compete.
Today, I sent a letter to Mr. President Macron about this very issue, and in continuation of our conversation with him on 24 January, as we prepare for the Paris Olympics, we must be sure that Russia will not be able to use it or any other international sports event to promote aggression or its state chauvinism. In the first half of the 20th century, too many mistakes were made in Europe. There was also a major Olympic mistake. The Olympic movement and terrorist states definitely should not intersect.
The IOC maintains that no athlete should be barred from competing at the Games because of their passport. However, Russian athletes backing the conflict would not be welcome. The Olympics have seen two high-profile boycotts in the last 50 years, and both involved the USSR. There was a Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics in 1980 following the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. The USSR-led Eastern Bloc boycotted the next Summer Games in Los Angeles in a tit-for-tat move.